Monique did not have to die. I didn't have to throw her out like she was garbage either. My baby was so precious to me. To all of us, she was so valuable. How dare they?
On December 29th, Monique, a successful real estate agent, got an unexpected call from a woman asking to see a house her company was selling. She had no idea that this one decision would lead her into danger, putting her life at risk and leaving her loved ones in grief. The phone call seemed innocent, but it would soon become clear that Monique had walked straight into the last hours of her life. Today, we went all the way to Minneapolis, Minnesota to cover a case of a real estate agent and mother of 2 young children who was lured to a fake house showing, kidnapped, and murdered in a very much painful manner. Before we begin, we would love to extend our deepest and sincere condolences to the family and friends of Monique Ball and everyone affected by the tragic event. Minneapolis, Minnesota is a vibrant city known for its rich art scene, beautiful parks, and proximity to nature, with the Mississippi River running through its heart. The city boasts world-class institutions like the Walker Art Center and Guthrie Theater, as well as an extensive network of lakes and trails, making it a paradise for outdoor enthusiasts. Minneapolis is also home to Mall of America, one of the largest shopping malls in the world, and its lively downtown area is filled with diverse restaurants, music venues, and a growing tech industry. However, in recent years, Minneapolis has seen an increase in crime, particularly violent crimes like assaults and shootings. While efforts are being made to address these issues, the crime rate remains a concern for both residents and visitors. It is in this vibrant city that we find Monique Ball and her family. Monique Ball was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where she spent her childhood surrounded by a loving family. Growing up, she was known for her infectious smile, bubbly personality, and the ability to light up a room with her presence. As a young girl, Monique developed a strong bond with her cousin, Sherelle Sinkfield. The two were so close that they were often referred to as Thelma and Louise by their family. Monique's cousin described her as a confident and glowing individual whose positive energy was contagious. Monique excelled academically and pursued her passion for real estate. She became a successful realtor in the Twin Cities area, known for her dedication and professionalism. Colleagues praised her drive and ability to succeed in her chosen field. Monique Ball met John Mitchell Momo, a rising rapper, through mutual friends in the Minneapolis music scene. The two quickly formed a strong connection and began dating. Despite their different career paths, with Monique working as a successful real estate agent and John pursuing his passion for music, they shared a deep love and commitment to each other. As their relationship progressed, Monique and John welcomed 2 beautiful daughters into the world. The family of 4 was devoted to one another, with Monique doting on her children and John providing a loving and supportive presence in their lives. They cherished the moments they spent together, creating lasting memories that would forever shape their family.
Some of you know, but for those of you who don't, I am in real estate and I feel truly blessed.
My boyfriend and I couldn't get enough of our 2 girls.
John Momo is the father of Monique's 2 children. Momo is a rapper. He's done a lot of songs with major artists, Nipsey Hussle, Lil Baby.
You can't take this pain away.
Monique's cousin, Sherelle Sinkfield, was a fan of the couple and often described the couple's bond as special and unbreakable. She admired the way they supported each other's dreams and aspirations, always striving to lift each other up. Monique's infectious smile and bubbly personality were a perfect complement to John's ambition and drive. The family found joy in the simple pleasures of life, from family outings to quiet moments at home. Monique's dedication to her children and her unwavering love for John were a testament to her character and the strength of their relationship. Although their lives seemed perfect, it wasn't without hurdles. In fact, one of these hurdles would eventually lead to a tragic event. On December 29, 2019, Monique Ball's phone rang, and the voicemail was from a woman who called herself Lisa Pulowski. Lisa's voice was calm and professional as she asked Monique about setting up a house viewing in Maple Grove, Minnesota. At first, Monique found this a little odd because usually her clients came through the real estate company, but this woman had chosen to contact her directly. Monique, known for her dedication and passion for real estate, didn't hesitate. She called Lisa back quickly, eager to assist. Lisa explained that she was looking to buy a property and needed to schedule a showing soon. Monique, always ready to help, suggested a few available times, and after a brief conversation, they settled on December 30th at 11 a.m. Monique had no idea that this simple phone call would trigger a nightmare, a chain of events that would turn her life and the lives of her loved ones upside down. The woman on the other end of the call wasn't really looking to buy a home. She was part of a sinister plan, a plot designed to lure Monique into a deadly trap. Elsa Segura, the original name of the caller, wasn't alone in this scheme. She was working with others, Lyndon Wiggins, Cedric Berry, and Barry Davis, all of them tangled in a complex plot rooted in a feud involving Monique's boyfriend, John Mitchell Momo, and disputes over a music label. As Monique prepared for the showing, totally unaware of the danger she was walking into, the conspirators set their dark plan into motion. They carefully prepared the location, making sure everything was ready for when Monique would arrive, ready to spring the trap. On December 31st, 2019, Monique prepared for her family's New Year's Eve party early and left home for Maple Grove House, expecting to meet a potential buyer. But what she didn't know was that two men were lying in wait. One jumped on her back and overpowered her to the tiled floor, where they got her hand and mouth bound with tape. Security cameras caught the moment they ambushed her, forcing her into the back of a U-Haul truck. What was supposed to be a regular workday for Monique had turned into a nightmare.
But no potential homebuyer showed up. Instead, it was a ruse. Two kidnappers forced Monique into the back of a U-Haul truck.
For 2 long hours, Monique sat terrified in the back of that truck as it drove around Minneapolis. She must have been filled with fear and confusion, trying to make sense of what was happening, not knowing if she would make it out alive. The men who took her had no mercy. They were part of a deadly plan linked to the feud with John. At one point, Monique feared they were going to unalive her directly, but the gunmen had other plans. They drove for about 6 hours to Monique's family's house, with her still in the back of the truck. At around 5:30 p.m., police responded to a shooting at John Mitchell Momo's home on Humboldt Avenue in Minneapolis, where he and his 2 young daughters were inside. John, Monique's boyfriend, had been shot multiple times by a masked gunman who entered with a key he had gotten from Monique. Despite his injuries, John called out to the shooter and gave crucial information to officers, expressing fear for his children's safety.
I went to work as usual. When I got off, I see that I had a text from my neighbor. I called him right away, and he says, you know, a guy got shot at your house. And I said, no. And I said, where's my daughter? And he says, I don't know. When I showed up, Momo was shot multiple times.
Wanda Ball, Monique's mom, was at work when her neighbor made countless calls and sent numerous messages. She was too busy to respond, but when she finally checked her phone, she couldn't believe what she was seeing. She hoped it wasn't true, but she knew she had to act immediately.
Momo was rushed to the hospital. Wanda arrived home to find the police already there. She ran to her grandchildren, who were unhurt.
I'm just really scared for my daughter.
She rushed to John's apartment immediately, where she found police had arrived and unattended. Her daughter and John were not in the house, but her 2 grandchildren were there with no harm to them. Wanda and the police could not piece the incidents together until one discovery helped their confusion. One police officer saw a single door key on the floor, and it looked to be that house key. Wanda, on checking, confirmed that the key belonged to Monique, which became apparent that the gunman knew where Monique was at that time. It became more clear that Monique's role in this whole ordeal was to provide the key they needed to get to John. Upon learning this information, Wanda felt an overwhelming sense of fear and urgency. She was aware of the escalating tensions related to John's involvement in the music scene and the potential threats that came with it. The situation was further complicated by the fact that John and Monique had 2 young daughters together, making the stakes even higher for Wanda, who was deeply invested in her grandchildren's well-being.
I'm just really scared for my daughter.
My mom was right. I was in danger. and she herself found the evidence to prove it. My key.
That key was laying on an area rug in the living room.
It quickly became clear to me what the men who took me wanted.
They wanted the key to get into the house, to get to Momo.
In the wake of the attack, Wanda took immediate steps to ensure the safety of her family. This included reaching out to law enforcement to understand the situation better and to seek guidance on how to find her daughter and protect her grandchildren from any further threats. Following the failed attack on John, and with the combined efforts of the police, they began tracing the attackers because they still had Monique, and John was hospitalized. About an hour later, a gunshot detection alert led authorities to an alley on the 1300 block of Russell Avenue North, where they found Monique's body, her hands bound with tape and shot multiple times, including a point-blank shot to the face.
An hour later, it was spotted again near the alley where she was shot. Police also found tape on her wrist, and according to the warrant, zip ties and tape were later found in the U-Haul.
She was taken to North Memorial Medical Center, but was pronounced dead shortly after. During this entire time, John had been incapacitated in the hospital and unable to speak. As soon as he regained the ability to talk, officers visited him and broke the news. His reaction could only be imagined.
When Momo was able to talk, police visited him in the hospital, where they broke the news that the mother of his children was dead.
I got so many tears, I don't even got no more to give.
Momo told police he texted and called Monique repeatedly, and she didn't respond.
Next thing I know, the door opens up. Gun instantly blazing. I got hit 3 times down here in my leg. I got hit right here, a bullet right here in the back.
The discovery of Monique's body made a huge impact on the community. People were horrified. This vibrant, hard-working real estate agent, a mother, had been brutally murdered. The police were called immediately, and the officers arrived to find Monique with multiple gunshot wounds. Her life stolen in such a violent and cruel way. Law enforcement quickly sealed off the area, gathering evidence and launching a full-scale investigation. Forensic teams combed through the scene, looking for anything that could help them piece together what had happened. Shell casings, possible DNA, everything was collected in hopes of finding those responsible for this unthinkable crime. The community was left reeling as word of Monique's murder spread, and her friends and family were overcome with disbelief and grief. As detectives dug deeper, surveillance footage became a crucial part of their investigation. The footage showed Monique being forced into the U-Haul by 2 men, capturing the moment she was taken. This helped police build a timeline of what happened, slowly unraveling the dark conspiracy. The investigation soon linked the kidnapping and murder to a broader plot connected to John and the music label dispute. It was a revenge scheme that had gone too far, tearing apart innocent lives in its wake. John found himself entangled in a dangerous feud with Lyndon Wiggins, a man connected to both the music industry and the drug trade. The conflict arose after a disagreement over a record label contract, further fueled by Wiggins' belief that John had snitched on him to the police, leading to his drug-related arrest. The belief escalated when on December 16th he posted a video where he was counting a large sum of money. To emphasize just how much it was, he put a portion of the money in a dryer, which was later believed to belong to Wanda.
And they found a music video of Momo in a shower with a large amount of cash.
I realized it was my shower and my dryer that was posted on December 16th. December 31st, Monique was taken.
This caused serious and unsettling tension, as Wiggins and his team believed the money was a payment for him snitching on them. His flaunting it on social media seemed to suggest that he didn't care, to say the least. Tensions between the two escalated, setting the stage for violence. After the tragic events unfolded, John became the target of accusations on social media, with some blaming him for Monique's death due to his past involvement with drugs and his perceived lifestyle. Despite the backlash, John strongly denied knowing any of the individuals involved, including a man named Cedric Berry, insisting, "I've never seen that Cedric dude in my life." As John mourned the loss of Monique, he expressed his desire to clear his name and spoke about the deep emotional toll the situation had taken on him. Following the tragic murder of Monique Baugh, Law enforcement acted swiftly to arrest several individuals involved in the conspiracy. The main suspects included Elsa Segura, a former probation officer who allegedly lured Monique to a fake home showing, Lyndon Wiggins, considered the mastermind behind the plot, and Cedric, Barry, and Barry Davis, who were accused of carrying out the kidnapping and murder. Each of them faced serious charges, including first-degree murder, attempted murder, and kidnapping. The prosecution argued that the motive stemmed from a dispute over a music label and allegations of drug-related activities involving John Mitchell Momo, Monique's boyfriend.
Monique did not have to die. I didn't have to throw her out like she was garbage either. My baby was so precious to me. To all of us, she was so valuable. How dare they?
Monique Bau's mom telling Judge Peter Cahill in the court that her daughter came face to face with pure evil on New Year's Eve 2020. Monique's two babies left without a mother, a truly awesome, beautiful mom who had a giant heart and electric smile, according to Wanda Williams-Bau during her agonizing victim impact statement. The Hennepin County jury convicted the two defendants, Barry Davis and Cedric Berry, on a handful of charges, including first-degree premeditated murder and the horrific slaying of the real estate agent, which apparently was part of a larger conspiracy to get at her boyfriend and the father of Monique's children over some kind of dispute connected to the music industry.
When Cedric, Berry, and Barry Davis went to trial in June 2021, the prosecution presented key evidence, such as surveillance footage showing the moments leading up to Monique's abduction, witness testimonies, including from John Mitchell Momo, who survived an earlier attack that day, and forensic evidence that revealed Monique had been shot multiple times, including at point-blank range. Both men were found guilty of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and kidnapping, receiving life sentences without parole.
Two men have been sentenced in the death of a real estate agent. This afternoon, 42-year-old Cedric Berry of Minneapolis and 42-year-old Barry Davis of Brooklyn Park both received life sentences without parole. In June, both men were found guilty of kidnapping and shooting 28-year-old Monique Bau.
At the sentencing, Berry expressed remorse, saying that he was about to get life without parole for a few fingerprints that said they were mine.
Bau, I hope she gets relief. Today she didn't get it because justice wasn't served.
Elsa Segura's trial took place later, with the prosecution arguing that she played a significant role by using a burner phone to set up the fake home showing under the alias Lisa Pulowski, clearly intending to deceive Monique. Her defense, however, claimed she was unaware of her co-conspirators' violent intentions, asserting that her actions didn't show a desire to harm Monique. Despite this, the jury found Segura guilty of aiding and abetting first-degree murder, attempted murder, and kidnapping, and she too was sentenced to life in prison.
A Hennepin County judge sentenced a former probation officer to life in prison without the possibility of parole. A jury convicted her in the kidnapping and murder of realtor Monique Bau.
Your Honor, the defendant, she actually could have been a hero. She could have been a hero. She could have warned Monique. I am asking that she get life without the possibility of parole. No more chances.
Judge Peter Cahill agreed, sentencing her to the same life without parole sentence as Cedric Berry and Barry Davis.
However, in a complete twist of events, something shocking happened. In February 2024, the Minnesota Supreme Court made a decision that left Monique Bau's family stunned and heartbroken. The court overturned Elsa Segura's conviction, stating that there wasn't enough direct evidence to prove her intent to participate in Monique's kidnapping and murder. They also cited improper jury instructions, which allowed the jury to convict Segura based on the actions of others without confirming her personal involvement.
2021, a jury found Segura guilty on 4 charges in relation to Bau's death. Today, the decision reversed 2 of them, aiding and abetting first-degree premeditated murder and premeditated attempted murder. She is now entitled to a new trial.
In a 50-page opinion, the Minnesota State Supreme Court details why they reversed Elsa Segura's conviction, pointing to 2 issues: insufficient evidence and jury instructions. Starting with the evidence, Segura, a former probation officer, admitted in court she set up a fake home showing with Monique Bau to help her boyfriend, Lyndon Wiggins. Prosecutors say that Wiggins had a falling out with Ba's boyfriend, John Mitchell Momo. Segura testifying that she didn't know of the plan to kidnap and kill Ba. Prosecutors argued there was circumstantial evidence that could lead Segura to knowing about the plan, such as using her job resources to see her boyfriend's violent record.
For Monique's family, this ruling was like tearing open old wounds. Sherelle Sinkfield, Monique's cousin, expressed how deeply the decision had affected them, leaving the entire family feeling raw and helpless after years of fighting for justice.
And I can speak confidently on the behalf of my entire family. It does not get easier even though the time goes by. The years go by. It doesn't get easier because we, every moment, think about her. She's in our living rooms, on our walls, and we think about her day in and day out.
Now, Segura, facing a retrial, Monique's family is bracing themselves for another grueling round of legal battles. Despite the setback, they remain firm in their belief that everyone involved in Monique's murder should be held accountable. They cling to hope, praying that this time justice will be served and that Monique's memory won't be tarnished by the overturned conviction. For years,
I love you, Mommy, and I forever love you.
Growing up without their mother, Monique Bao's young daughters still healing, attempting to fill the giant hole in their family with these gravesite visits and birthday celebrations.
Monique's family has lived through unimaginable grief. Every step of the legal process has been a constant reminder of the daughter, cousin, and mother they lost. Wanda Williams Baugh, Monique's mother, has stood strong through every trial, always showing up to speak for her daughter. She gave victim impact statements with a trembling voice, ensuring the court knew the deep, emotional toll Monique's murder had taken on her family, though thankful for the convictions of the other suspects.
The only thing I wish I could have is my daughter back. And that's something I can't have. It's nothing I can get, but this is a touch of satisfaction.
Wanda's heartbreak over Segura's release has been immense. The retrial feels like reliving the tragedy all over again, but she is determined to see justice through for Monique. The family hasn't only been focused on their personal battle for justice. Monique's murder turned them into advocates for other victims of violence. They've used their platform to raise awareness about domestic violence, attending community events, and sharing Monique's story in interviews. Their tireless efforts ensure that Monique's name will never be forgotten, and they hope to prevent other families from enduring the same heartbreak. The local community has supported them throughout. Vigils were held in Monique's honor with friends, neighbors, and strangers coming together to mourn and light candles for her. These gatherings became powerful moments of unity, a testament to how Monique's tragic death had touched so many lives and sparked a call for change. Even as they face more court battles, Monique's family remains driven by love, the profound loss, and the firm belief that justice will prevail. They continue to fight not just for Monique, but for all victims of violence, hoping that through their pain, they can inspire real, systemic change. Every time they tell Monique's story, they help shine a light on the horrors of domestic violence. And though the road ahead is long, they are unwavering in their commitment to ensuring Monique's death was not in vain. The retrials will bring new attention to the case, and the family remains hopeful that with this renewed focus, the justice Monique so deserved will finally be realized. John was beyond devastated as he felt he could have done better in saving his family from the tragedy that befell them. Well, maybe he could have, but he thought that keeping certain secrets would shield Monique and their young daughters from harm. He thought that by concealing the details of his conflicts and the risks associated with his lifestyle, he could maintain a sense of normalcy and safety for his family. However, this attempt at protection ultimately backfired. The very secrets John held close became a catalyst for tragedy. The lack of open communication and transparency left Monique vulnerable and unaware of the imminent dangers surrounding her. In a cruel twist of fate, John's efforts to shield his loved ones from the harsh realities of his world only served to isolate them further, making them easy targets for those seeking revenge. In the end, the blame rests not only on those John and those directly involved in Monique's murder, but also on a system that too often falters in protecting the innocent and delivering true justice. As the family of Monique pushes forward, one question remains. How many more families must endure such heartache before our justice system truly serves those it was designed to protect? And personally, What do you think could have been done to prevent this tragedy in the first place?
There's a guy that I talk to, and he's 25, and he's amazing. Like, he does the job. I mean, he doing it well. But can he read? I mean, the dick is dicking. The dick is dicking. I mean, he rooted to the cooter. I mean, he doing it every day. But
here we go.
He got so many red flags.
So many red flags. Why you know?
The fact that you got up here to ask us a question about somebody that has red flags, you already know he ain't shit, baby.
I got one thing for you that'll fix all this. I want you to ask yourself every time you get around him, right? Am I a pookie picker? And if he fits in that category, you're going to think to yourself, like, I got to get out of this shit.
Yeah, no, listen, if the best thing about a nigga is his penis, he's a pookie.
He's a pookie.